And now, more Pro Wrestling Weekly with your host, Ferran Derry.
Sit down, shut up, and listen up.
Welcome back to Pro Wrestling Weekly here on 1490 WBCB and online at WBCB1490.com. Ferran Derry here with you, talking WWE, talking TNA, talking wardrobe malfunctions, talent releases, and all other kinds of insanity. We just spoke with Dino Santa, the head of Triple WA, and before we get back to that, speaking of insanity, Nick Cataldi.
I'm sorry I missed that wardrobe malfunction. I wanted to straighten them out for doing such disgusting filth on television. I won't watch it any more than 30 or 40 times they bring it back up.
No more than 30 or 40, huh?
30 or 40 more times to see it. You know.
All right, I'll show it to you during the next break. How about that?
I'm appalled. Yeah, what did he say? He was appalled. I'm appalled too.
Appalled?
Yeah, whatever that is. You know. Anyway, okay, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Justin Cataldi Lake over here. Oh my goodness! Yes, the Brie Bella wardrobe malfunction that has had lots of. You know, there's no way I can say that without getting into trouble, so I'm just going to move on. I was about to go in the, you know what? No, I can't even go in that direction either. Just self-censorship. It's a beautiful thing. Anyway, we were talking before Dino called in Daniel Bryan being put up in the gauntlet. He beat Jack Swagger, Antonio Cesaro, and Ryback. Certainly a test to see if he can make it to SummerSlam and challenge John Cena. Man, looking a few weeks away at SummerSlam, I have no idea what I'm going to do as far as my predictions certain to go wrong. Granted, there's only 2 matches set on the card, but there'll be more coming, to say the least. It looks like they're setting up, and even though it isn't official yet, a 6-man tag of the Uso brothers and Mark Henry. Looks like they're going to be taking on the Shield. At least that's the direction things are going. But we'll get into more of that in a little bit. But first, oh man, I've got to get into this Dixie Carter story. It was highlighted briefly by Dan from Chicago on the Facebook fan page. Ask Dixie goes horribly wrong. In light of the recent budget cuts and talent releases, Dixie Carter decided to answer Twitter fans' questions, and as long as the question had the hashtag #AskDixie, and she would respond to it, thinking it would be more of like a press conference type thing. Fans, they decided to be a little more humorous than serious. Now, I can't mention all of the questions that were thrown out there that were rather humorous, but I decided to go with 10 of the questions that I can read on air that were meant to or intended to ask Dixie Carter. I don't think she provided any answers to any of these questions from some of the Twitter fans. Is it true a lot of mid-card wrestlers in TNA are considering living in North Korea because they have better human rights?
What Korea are we talking about here? The one in North Jersey? The one in South Jersey?
I think they mean the country in this case.
Oh,
yeah, they're taking some pot shots and jabs at Dixie Carter, the owner of TNA Impact.
I'm going to go there myself then if it's that much better. I'd be a good Korean, don't you think?
No comment. Do you think it's legit that half of TNA's budget goes into your makeup? That was a question to Dixie Carter. No, Dixie Carter.
Wasn't Dixie Carter married to Hal Linden once?
I don't believe so.
Yeah, it was. There wasn't the same one, though.
Wasn't the same one? Okay. I see what you did there.
Yeah.
Another question, is TNA's booking guide the death of WCW? Based on the stupid decisions that they're making. Another question for Dixie Carter, have you watched Hogan's sex tape? Referring to Hulk Hogan.
Oh, Hogan's Heroes. Bob Crane had quite a sex life too, So I
saw that E! True Hollywood story. I know what you're talking about. No.
Okay. Oh.
He meant Hulk Hogan's sex tape.
You mean women like him?
Apparently.
Oh, wow. I never would have guessed.
The 24-inch pythons, brother. Oh, does TNA stand for Total Nonstop Absurdity?
I know what it stands for. Sorry. It's your show.
Yes, it is. If Sid Vicious broke his leg while main eventing a pay-per-view, would you fire him in the ring or wait until he was in the hospital?
In the ring, baby.
Just fire him in the ring.
Right there and there. You got to get somebody, get him right away. Don't drag him along. Don't lead him on. Just get him right there on the spot.
Just all kinds of ripping.
That's my sensitive side coming out again.
Another question. Isn't it pathetic and sad that Hulk Hogan had to take a second job hawking his wares at a beach shop to pay his bills?
I feel terrible.
I know, so do I.
Yeah, I feel terrible.
Bring back Pasta Mania, right?
Yeah.
Remember when Impact's slogan was "Wrestling Matters"? Yeah, exactly. I know. These are all just meant to be completely comedic and.
Yeah.
How much more money do you have to pay Hogan before his pockets truly become too heavy and sinks the TNA ship? I know. Believe me, the folks on Twitter can be both creative, clever, and brutal. And this is a combination of all three.
Yeah.
And the final question thrown out there, how much do you regret making this a thing? Referring to TNA wrestling in general.
Oh, I had no idea what they were talking about.
Yeah. How much do you regret making this?
It's your thing. Do what you want to do. I don't know.
Yeah, this is far removed from the Isley Brothers, to say the least.
I regret it. It was a hard decision on my. What do you mean? Not on my part. What do I have to do with this?
These are all questions to Dixie Carter.
Oh, okay. Well, when I see Dixie later, I'll ask her.
There you go. Well, in response, actually, Dixie Carter released the following message to fans via ImpactWrestling.com.
Suspense is killing me. Go ahead.
I know. Yeah. Hi, everyone. In the 11-plus years that I've been with TNA, I'm still amazed by the passion of pro wrestling fans. That passion, both positive and negative, is remarkable and something that all of us at TNA values. With that said, I ask for questions from you like I have done many times in the past, but I didn't provide a time frame by which I would answer you.
She says we're at the River Now Sharpton answer book.
I know
I'll get around to it.
Oh, she goes on. I know.
I like her. I like him. I like them all. All the cuckoos. No, I don't.
I know.
Boy, talk about semantics. I mean, that was good, Dixie. You are my idol.
I know I have frustrated all of you, and I apologize. Beginning next week, each Thursday, I will answer legitimate questions from you on a weekly basis.
How fair-minded.
I will not, however, address outrageous or hurtful questions or posts.
Well, we'll be hearing more.
Yeah, I know. Well, these aren't my questions. I'm taking these right from Twitter.
I know what you're doing. I'm just kidding with you.
I also wanted to take this opportunity to provide perspective from inside TNA, where we stand and where, with support from our current and future fans around the globe, we are going. What is being shared with you now is what was shared with the Impact roster before a phenomenal Destination X show from Louisville, Kentucky last week. This has been a big year for TNA. We took Impact live on the road exactly where it needs to be, where you've asked us to be, in your backyard. We also changed our pay-per-view schedule, shifting from 12 to 4 live pay-per-view events each year in order to increase the value of these events for you. To grow TNA, these are moves that needed to be made, and part of changes like this includes structural changes within TNA to align with this new business model. Many of your comments and questions refer to our recent roster changes. The relationship that fans have with wrestlers is unique and one of the many great aspects of the wrestling business, and for this reason, releasing talent is never easy, not for you and not for us. But bringing in fresh faces and the best wrestling talent in the world is what you expect, and what TNA will always strive to deliver. Recently, we have brought back some talent favorites, referencing Sanjay Dutt, Petey Williams, and Homicide.
And Dominic DeNucci.
No. And you will continue to see this and new talent we are excited to introduce you to in the coming months. TNA has always been and will continue to be a place where you can interact with the superstars, whether in person at a live show or via social channels like Twitter and Facebook. We are constantly exploring new and interesting ways to take this interaction to another level, and you will see this unfold in the coming months. I appreciate each of you taking the time to share your thoughts, opinions, and ideas. Your input and feedback helps us create a better product. I hope you will join us when Impact Live comes to your area. Yours, Dixie. That's some interesting damage control after...
Conscience of the Year award on that one. That time frame when that was a good one. Oh, God. I will sleep well tonight, knowing that I laughed my head off today.
There you go. All right, well, I'll give you a chance to recover here. Let's get Ed from the Northeast, who's been hanging on here. Ed, welcome to Pro Wrestling Weekly.
Hey, happy birthday.
Yes, thank you. For those who don't know, I've been kind of joking and putting it off, but yes, tomorrow is that day where I get one more tick on the odometer.
Anyway, we have Genesis Championship Wrestling in Ledgewood, New Jersey at Junction 46 spot. The Patriot and Marty Jannetty is on there. It's a benefit for Boys and Clown.
Ah, yes, of course. Matt Osborne, who passed away a few weeks ago, and actually today would have been his birthday had he still been with us.
And that's about it.
Oh. All right, a little short update for you. Not a problem, though. Always appreciate the contribution.
Right.
Thanks so much for the call, Ed. Appreciate it, as always. They don't call him Ed the Showstopper for nothing. All right, let's... where am I going next here? Oh, Dixie Carter.
You're going to answer questions.
Yes. I don't know if I want to answer questions from my fan base, especially if Doug's involved. Then I might, yeah. That's a whole nother story. All right, let's talk a little bit about Impact. Chris Sabin, the new TNA champion, was introduced, and Bully Ray came out on Impact with a lawyer saying that they were filing an injunction because of Bully Ray's pain and suffering from the strike to Bully Ray's head a week and a half ago now at this point, in that championship match. The strike to his head, courtesy of a hammer.
Gorilla Monsoon will be very upset about this.
I'm sure he would.
Rolling over in his grave that anybody complained about pain in the ring.
Oh, I know. But he feels that the title should be forfeited back to him. We'll go ahead and hear from Bully Ray, courtesy of Impact, this past Thursday.
I have been wronged. I have suffered a major injustice. I am highly offended that everybody in the wrestling world can just sit back and praise Chris Sabin for what he did to me. I mean, the man hit me in the head with a hammer. What kind of man? What kind of athlete? What kind of wrestler would ever sink to such levels to hit somebody else in the head with a deadly object like a hammer? Sabin, you have no choice. I will sue you. I will sue everybody in this company. I will do whatever it takes to right the wrong that has been bestowed upon me. Sabin, I want you to do the right thing. I want you to walk out here. I want you to take the World Heavyweight title, and I want you to hand it over to me. Obviously, you're out here to do the right thing. Obviously, you're out here because I told you to come out here and because you are highly intimidated by me. Obviously, you are going to do the right thing and hand me my World Heavyweight title.
You want to know the real reason I'm out here, Bully? Because with my own eyes, I wanted to see for myself what a big fat crybaby you've become. Hey, you're no longer the world champion. But guess what? I almost had my entire career taken away from me. For 2 years, I sat at home. And did I whine like you? Did I complain like you? No, I didn't. All it did was motivate me and inspire me to work harder, work 10 times harder to get back in this ring. And guess what? Now I'm the World Heavyweight Champion. You had to have been hit in the head one too many times if you think I'm just going to walk down here and hand this belt over to you, because I'll be honest, the only way you're getting this belt from me is if you pry it from my dead hands.
No. The way I'm going to get that belt back is by suing you. Look at what you've done to me. How dare you hit me over the head with a hammer? How can you look at yourself in the mirror? How can you call yourself a man? I know that Hogan has been meeting with his lawyers all day long. So if you're not going to do the right thing, I demand that Hulk Hogan come out here and give me back my title. It's the law, or I'm suing. What do something, Bully? I've been going back and forth all day long with my lawyers, looking at this contract inside out, upside down, from top to bottom, brother. And at the end of the day, I get it. And I do have a counter for you, my brother. You see? You see? But this counter comes with no negotiation. You can't do that. You can't do that. Brother, I can do that because I'm your general manager, whether you like it or not. I'm the law around here, brother. And as far as a general manager in every Impact Maniac in here, Chris Sabin is our champion, and he will remain the TNA heavyweight champion, brother.
Wow, what a relief. Dixie Carter, Hulk Hogan standing by, world champion Chris Sabin. I thought it was going the other way, Mike.
But you know something, Bully? Fair is fair. And per your contract, you do have a rematch clause. And I understand you don't want any outside interference from the main event mafia because I know what it's all about with your group of aces and eights. So the way it goes, you will get your rematch on August the 15th in North Fork, Virginia, my brother. And on that day, there will be justice, a very special type of justice. It's called hardcore justice, brother. Because aces and eights won't be involved. The main event mafia won't be involved. You will get your rematch against the world heavyweight champion, brother. And the law is going to make sure there's justice because at hardcore justice, the TNA World title will be defended inside a steel cage, brother.
Oh, yeah, you want justice? We're going to have justice. We're going to have hardcore justice here on Spice TV. It's 3 weeks from tonight. It's Bully Ray. It's Chris Sabin. World heavyweight title. No interference. Lock him in the cage. May the best man win.
Yes, a cage match. Is anybody else, when they said a special kind of justice, was anybody else expecting him to introduce Sid Justice, or was I the only one on that one? I don't know.
I was hoping for Buford T. Justice.
Buford T. Justice? Yeah. Oh, there you go. Apparently I'm not the only one who can make old school references.
Yeah.
Who would have thunk it? All right, we'll come back. I've got, we'll talk a little CM Punk and Paul Heyman, and also what really got on my nerves, courtesy of WWE, and fans brawling at a Raw event. We'll talk about that as well. This is Pro Wrestling Weekly here on 1490 WBCB and online at WBCB1490.com.